Hi there, welcome to my Spring Detox. This is your kickoff video. I'm really happy you've decided to join me. My name is Deanna and I'm a holistic nutritionist. I'm also a Reiki and chakra practitioner, and I have been dabbling in Akashic Records and some shaman training lately. So my main goal is just to help women feel better in their bodies. I do that by helping you work on healing your digestion and balancing your hormones. So that brings me to this detox. And it's something that I've been doing a lot in my private sessions and some of my previous group programs. And our body is bombarded by toxins and stress. So this is really the reason why we want to focus on doing some sort of cleansing or detoxification protocol. Introducing this on a seasonal basis, you can help your body work more efficiently. Your body is already detoxifying. It just needs a little bit of help, sometimes just removing things that slow down that detoxification or adding in things such as all these healthy foods. So seasonal detox can help you clean the slate so you can feel your best, get rid of any toxin buildup, and reduce the overall burden on your body. So as you can see, you got all your materials, and you may or may not want to print them all off. Some of them I would suggest would be the meals and the shopping list and the recipe guide. The detox guide, you might want to just have that open on your computer for certain times to look at it, as opposed to printing all of these off, because it is a lot of papers. The physical and emotional wellness toolkit, you may want to print that off as well, or you may just want to jot down your answers in a notebook. So before you begin, you want to go through all of the materials, and then you want to organize that on your computer. Everything can be saved here in the portal, so you don't have to download it, but I suggest you do in case at any point in time you're no longer in my portal. So reviewing all your materials and making sure that you have everything that you need. And then step 2 would be preparing your kitchen for success. That might mean removing things that might be tempting. And then maybe perhaps making sure that your blender works. Don't worry about rushing out to get a juicer. If there's juices in the recipe booklet that you'd prefer not to juice, then just go ahead and use a smoothie or add some of those things into a smoothie. I don't want you going and spending extra money on something you may not use again in the future. Go shopping using your shopping list. Schedule time in your calendar for your new habits. I think that's a really great point. If we don't make time, it may not happen. And you may want to go and find a plant-based protein powder to add to your smoothies. Personally, I like collagen. It's not plant-based, but it actually sits really well in my stomach. So if you're having problems trying to find a good protein powder, by all means, drop me a line. You can private message me here in the portal. So review the toxin guide. Then you might want to purchase some containers. We do prefer plastic glass over plastic, simply because you're not exposing yourself to the toxins in the plastic. Number 8, drinking a green juice daily or buying a greens powder at your local health store. You know, I just add greens to my smoothies, and you can do that too. Even if you're, looking at some of these juices, like I said, just make it into a smoothie. And then prep your veggies so that you know that everything's ready to go. So during phase 1, you're going to start to reduce certain things that might be slowing down detoxification. Things like coffee or any caffeinated products. I don't generally suggest that you have to remove tea. There's only a small amount of caffeine in black tea. So if you prefer that, go right ahead and drink that. Processed foods, I think that's really one of the biggest things we want to try and remove here. And if it comes in a package, it's been processed. And that's going to include even a loaf of bread or a bagel, right? So these are things that you're not going to see in the program. So throw them in the freezer. You don't need to throw anything out. Or if you've got other people living in the house, they might still want to use those. So this is where you're going to start to use some of your detox tools, changing your mindset and creating new rituals for reducing stress. This doesn't have a start and an end date. So you can do this at your leisure. You might get started and you might stay in the phase 1 for longer than the 3 to 4 days. And that's quite all right. This is all really self-directed. So whatever's going to work for you. While you're in that phase 1 of prepping, you want to look at your phase 2. And these are going to be our most common allergens that we're going to detoxify from. These are foods that have been known to hamper weight loss, mainly because they cause inflammation in the body. We also increase foods that hydrate, regenerate, and support detoxification. Write down if you notice a reaction to a food on your plan. You can put it on the back of one of your things that you've printed off. You can journal it here in the portal if you like, or simply just write it down in a little notebook or something. And notice how you feel at different times of the day. If you're tired in the morning or if you get tired in the afternoon, bloating, any sort of digestive issues like trouble with bowel movements. All those things are really important. And this is really giving you the tools to be the detective in your own health. So using these tools, you're going to support your body during the detox phase. Phase 3 is the transition phase. So during this phase, you're going to add in foods that are common allergens. They might be hard to digest foods and foods that you don't see on your list for phase 2. This is going to give you an idea, and you may want to do this a little bit longer if you've had some food sensitivities. Oftentimes I will have people follow phase 2 for at least 2 weeks. So if you've been having a lot of discomfort and you're feeling really good in phase 2, then stretch it out even longer. Oftentimes people will ask me, well, what do I do after a cleanse, food cleanse like this? And it's like, well, if you've reintroduced something and it doesn't work for you, then by all means, maybe that's not a food that you need to have in your regular diet. Make sure you're writing down after each meal how you feel. When you do the reintroduction phase, I like to just add in one thing at a time. So if you've had a problem with dairy, you're going to know maybe right away. You might experience some nasty side effects. It could be eggs, it could be wheat, it could be anything. So be conscious of what's going on in your body when you start to reintroduce those foods. It may even be something that is still in this phase 2 that's causing you issues. And that's something we can deal with maybe on a one-on-one basis. But for the most part, this is going to help a lot of people. Be conscious of your breath while you eat and tune into your body. So in the program, we have foods to include, like dairy-free milk, all fruits and vegetables, nothing's off limits there, healthy fats, seeds, and seasonal beans and legumes. Things we want to avoid are coffee, sweeteners, artificial sweeteners, sugar, alcohol, eggs, soy, shellfish, yeast, nuts, alcohol, dairy products, corn, gluten, processed foods, soft drinks, nitrates, nightshades, and beans, because these are the most common allergen forming foods in the body. They're going to create the most inflammation and the immune system response in the body. And that's not an exhaustive list, but I think if we took everything away, it'd be really hard to find something to eat. Your liver is your main detoxifying organ in your body. It filters your blood and removes toxins and metabolic waste so that they can be excreted. Exposure to toxins makes it harder for your liver to function optimally. Without getting terribly technical, your liver has a huge responsibility. It not only filters the blood of components from everything you eat and drink and apply to your body, yes, even your sunscreens or lotions, but it regulates blood sugar levels, produces bile, which breaks down fats. Important note, if you've had your gallbladder removed, it breaks down the fats so that they can be absorbed and carries waste out through bowel movements. You may find changes in your bowel habits while you're doing this. Your liver also stores iron and helps to break down old and damaged blood cells. Your liver is really incredible. And this is why we need to detox each season. So some of the things that we're taking in, we may not be able to avoid, obviously fumes from cars and fuels, tobacco smoke, even just walking down the street, you could come in contact with someone that's smoking. Glue, paint, these are things that can even be in our house, off-gassing in our office, stain removers, and heavy metals, such as mercury, lead, arsenic, and cadmium. PCBs, which are found in our plastics, pesticides, toxic compounds like BPA, also present in the plastics, certain trace minerals that are dangerous in high amounts, and that might be from foods that we're eating, could be in the wine we're drinking water that has become contaminated with high levels of prescription medications. This is actually a real thing. A lot of people in municipal water systems are then exposed to whatever is getting flushed down the toilet. So this is really something, I don't know if it's as big a deal in Canada as it is in the US, but it is something to take note of. Toxins released by harmful bacteria, yeasts, and parasites that are living in your gut. So there is a lot going on there, and just know that I'm always here if you have any questions. So inflammation in the liver actually means it's having difficulty detoxifying and it's creating insulin resistance. This is one of the main reasons why we see resistant weight loss. It's because of an overburdened liver and a microbiome imbalance, which puts the body in a chronic state of stress. So even when I'm doing weight loss programs with women, in the process of that, we work on healing the digestive system, we work on detoxification, and everybody's looking for a quick fix, but sometimes your body's just not ready for that. So being patient while your body is returning to balance. A stressed body is an inflamed body. Yeah, I mean, if your socks are leaving a mark on your feet or ankles, then you might be suffering from inflammation. And a stressed body is going to focus on survival, not weight loss, not reproduction, survival. So adding in some probiotics into your diet is going to be beneficial for your digestive system. Things like cultured vegetables. So like that means sauerkraut or kimchi. There's probiotic drinks like BioK. There's kefir. There's coconut water kefir. There's also dairy, but we'll stick with non-dairy products in this program. So that might not be something that you would find. Anybody can get starter seeds and make that themselves. Coconut milk, almond milk, or any unsweetened and dairy-free yogurts. Coconut milk kefir, or any non-dairy kefir. Bubbies, cultured foods, kombucha. I have scobies at home, so I make my own, and high quality probiotic supplements. So if you're seeing something on here and you want to add that in, you could just reach out to me. If you want to add in greens or probiotics or digestive support, just know that that's something, it's not mandatory as part of this, but you can certainly reach out to me if you would like to add some extra help in. So the liver will detoxify in 2 stages. In stage 1, it processes all of the chemicals in the body and sends some of those byproducts to the kidneys for further detoxification. Stage 2, it processes things such as hormones, perfumes, petrochemicals, some medications, and even some of the body's own chemicals, such as histamine. And these become metabolites. So some of the most frequently asked questions that I'm just going to quickly go through. What is a toxin? Again, I think we really just kind of touched on all of that. And detoxification, that's a normal process in your body that's already happening. So we're just going to make that a little bit easier on the body. Should I seek advice from my doctor before beginning a detox? Most definitely, if you're on a lot of medications or you've been having a lot of problems, maybe with digestion, or if you're pregnant, definitely. Can I exercise while during the detox? Yes, absolutely. Keep it gentle. Maybe walking and yoga if you're feeling a little off. What can I do if I'm bloating? So reducing raw foods would be the first place to start there. You might just go with steamed and cooked foods that day, and maybe try reducing the fiber, like the chia and the flax that we've added in, and make sure that you're really chewing thoroughly, slowing down, not gulping down your food, and making sure that you're not drinking a lot of water, perhaps, with those meals. Usually if the stomach acid is weak, our digestion suffers, and so the food can be released into the small intestine undigested. Cooked foods can help lessen this burden on digestion. Flax and chia can be difficult to digest if you're not used to them, and so therefore we would probably bloat right up. And again, the chewing, it's the first step in the digestive process. So making sure that we slow down so that the salivary enzyme amylase can be released to help break down the foods. If you're having any headaches, you can try to omit the apple cider vinegar, simply because it might be prompting a detox response. It might be just too much. Sometimes when we remove certain things like caffeine, we might have headaches based on our withdrawal from that. And if you are not experiencing the bloating, you might increase your fiber. Fiber helps to bind those toxins and get them out of the body. If you're constipated, make sure you're drinking enough water. Usually, when you're adding in all these fruits and vegetables, that shouldn't be a problem, but you might want to just keep an eye on that and make sure you're getting half your body weight in ounces. You might add a little more coconut oil in while you're cooking. It can help to lubricate the digestive tract and soften the stools. It has the added benefit of being like an antiviral, antiparasitic type food. And cooked foods, again, just because they're easier to digest. If you happen to have both diarrhea and constipation, you can always reach out. Usually a little bit of ginger tea, peppermint tea will be helpful. Again, reducing the flax. Sometimes it can be the greens that you're adding in. So, just kind of slowing down this whole process. I would even maybe go so far as to add in some rice, just to kind of give things a little bit of bulk to the stools. Sometimes even our probiotics can be causing diarrhea. So you may just stop them for a couple of days and see how you respond. What if you're feeling tired? Well, sometimes that's actually a side effect of detoxification, but it can also be related to nutrient deficiencies, usually B12, vitamin D, and iron. and you can have those tested in your blood work. Again, something to note if it's carries on going forward, but it's not uncommon for people to feel a little bit tired when they're doing a detox. You might need to eat more. Maybe you're just not eating enough. And again, we're not really focusing on a weight loss. Like, this is not designed to be like a low calorie type program. It's not a crash diet. This is really just helping you figure out what foods work for your body and what doesn't. So yeah, if you need to eat more, then by all means, make sure that you're satiated. And you may just need to take it easy. Pay attention to how your day was. If it's a particularly stressful day, then you might want to just take it easy. If you're having cravings, you can try things like lemon water. May have to increase your sodium intake, your salt. I like to use sea salt, so Himalayan sea salt, so that you're getting all of the trace minerals in there. And try eating a little bit more. You can even make a drink. You can put in the lemon and the sea salt and some honey in a glass of water, just to get your electrolytes back up. The sweetness, maybe from sweet herbal teas, or just that little wee bit of honey, just to kind of take that edge off. Usually there's enough food, fruit and fiber in here that you shouldn't feel hungry, but that's all right if you do. If you start to experience any nausea after any additive, like the apple cider vinegar or even the greens that you've added in, just cut it back. Maybe stop for a day or two. It can create die-off, but it's also maybe you're just detoxifying too fast. So we don't want this to be an unpleasant experience. It should be minimal discomfort. What if you don't have time to cook? There's always things that you can buy. You can buy prepped salads, you can buy prepped juices. So, those are going to be time savers for sure. See if anybody else in your household is willing to help you with some of the prepping. I mean, if you've got kids at home, get them helping with cooking, cleaning, the veggies and chopping and that sort of thing. If you're hungry, then, truly eat. If you're genuinely hungry. And, if you're not satisfied after a glass of water or a green juice or a tea, then, eat something. You can make your elixirs in bulk. They're going to be more beneficial if you just make them right off the bat at the time you want to drink it. You should not do this detox if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Any detoxification should be after that. We don't want to pass anything on to the developing baby or through the breast milk. Certain medical conditions may prevent you from doing this. Again, just reach out to me. I am happy to, if there's something going on, I can always adjust certain things in the protocol here. That would make this more accessible. If someone has Crohn's that has decided to do this, I can definitely make this a little bit easier. I have to feed my family and I'm afraid they won't like this food. What should I do? You know what? Just make it. And, if they have to add something to it that will make it more palatable, I mean, everybody can eat a salad, right? Maybe load theirs up with something that's going to make them happy. If I have to eat out, can I still do the detox? Sure. There's, chicken and fish are great options, and salad. Skip the alcohol, go for a spritzer, those sorts of things. So thank you for watching, and I hope that I covered some of your basic questions. Feel free to reach out at any time. You can text me, You can text me at any time at that number or email me, or simply just reach out to me here in the portal. Okay.